And now, the big one, and I mean that in every sense of the word. Welcome to Let's Play Ace Combat 5, The Unsung War. Ace Combat 5 is basically any given Ace Combat fan's favorite of the Ace Combat series. I definitely know it was the one that I received a lot of clamoring for when I started this LP project. If Ace Combat 4 was where the franchise became Ace Combat mechanically, then Ace Combat 5 is where the franchise became Ace Combat stylistically. It casts a long shadow over the rest of the franchise, for good and for bad, and while we may have seen some touches of that in Ace Combat 0, we'll definitely be seeing a lot of 5's influence over the rest of the series as we go into Ace Combat 6, X, and then 7 once it comes out. But before we get started, we've already covered the arcade mode Operation Katina at the end of Ace Combat 4, so we now don't need to go into that, but yeah, just a little bit of controller housekeeping to start things off. Just some lovely menu foo for you here. We definitely want to have Wingman Command showing. And of course, we want to be playing this both in a language that the audience is going to be able to understand. So with that, we'll get a new game fired up, playing on, of course, all the defaults, and I will see everyone after the intro and briefing.
15 years ago, there was a war. Well, war's broken out here plenty of times before. They've tried to invade the Southlands through the Northern Valley time and time again. Luck was never on their side, though, and their victories didn't last long. They didn't realize that times had changed. Facing one defeat after another, losing territory and watching their nation dwindle, they built up their industrial strength to unprecedented heights and used it to wage one final battle against the world. That was 15 years ago. They fought ferociously, but were utterly defeated. The Belkans then committed the unthinkable. They used nuclear weapons on their own soil. Seeing this tragedy unfold before their own eyes, the victorious countries vowed to throw down their weapons. The world was once again at peace, and thanks to them, it seemed it would last forever. On a distant island, far away from civilization, the protectors of the peace take to the skies. Red alert! I was in the sky, trying to get the training team in my viewfinder from the rear seat of the lead plane. My pilot in the front seat was howling at the earth below.
Give me a break. I'm babysitting Nuggets up here.
Command room to Warthog Squadron. We have leakers, aircraft type unknown. Crossing the border at Cape Landers, bearing 278 to 302. Captain Bartlett, your flight is the only group close enough to make the intercept.
Baker, sense it. Go trail and stay close. The three of us will go hide and switch the bandits. All other aircraft stay low and out of the fight.
The world turned upside down, and my stomach turned inside out.
Sorry about this.
The captain's apology to me seemed misplaced. One instructor had survived the fight but crashed on landing, The other one was killed in action high up in the clouds. It wasn't his fault that the unidentified aircraft fired on us without warning. Nor was it his fault that the low-altitude area where he sent his trainees was directly in front of the enemy. 8 people died because the command room had misplaced some zeros. That pilot in the number 7 was amazing. Did you see her fight back?
I couldn't bear to watch. Nagase, you keep flying like that and you'll die real soon.
I won't die, sir.
The only surviving trainee's voice was almost a whisper.
Are you sure? You look like you couldn't hurt a fly.
Her face was pale, but she still managed to smile a bit for the camera. The photo, along with my camera, was confiscated by base security. It was as if our little undeclared war never happened. I came to cover this remote island because I heard that a very unique squadron leader was stationed here. I didn't realize he was this unique, though. This bad-mouthed, good-natured old firebrand could take the greenest of rookies and forge him into a fearsome fighter pilot. Of course, that possibility vanished with the day's encounter. The only crew he had left now were Second Lieutenant Nagase and the few pilots that happened to be on the ground that day.
I know you don't like this, but we're short on people. Starting tomorrow, all you nuggets are gonna be sitting alert. If we launch, stay glued to me up there. Nagase,
Sir.
you're flying number 2 on my wing. Gotta keep an eye on you, or who knows what you'll get yourself into.
At ease, people. But don't get too comfortable. It's a grave situation for all of us right now. Let's get this briefing started.
Another aircraft of unknown origin has entered Osean Federation airspace. We have confirmed the target type as a strategic recon plane flying at very high altitude. Despite our repeated warnings, it continued to penetrate our ADIS and was fired upon by Osean Coastal Defense Force SAMs. We believe one of our SAMs damaged the unknown plane, but did not destroy it. Radar shows that the aircraft is currently losing altitude and is attempting to egress feet wet towards the ocean. Intercept this target and force it to land for identification. Do not fire upon this aircraft until further orders are transmitted.
Wait a minute, I think something's gone wrong here. You mean this is not a bomber rundown mission? What the hell, Ace Combat 5? So yeah, anyways, this is, right out of the gate, emblematic of Ace Combat 5's, I suppose you could say, experimentation of sorts. And for the most part, yeah, it's an experiment that largely works, unlike Ace Combat 2's, like, really experimental gimmick missions.
This is Heartbreak 1 of War Dog Squadron. We are approaching the target. This is AWACS, call sign Thunderhead. Roger. Bring the target to the ground. Do not fire at the target. Repeat, do not fire at the target. You got that, Nuggets? War Dog 2, Roger.
So here we are with our initial squadron setup. We are flying as War Dog 4, aka Blaze.
War Dog 4, hello? Can you hear me, kid? You better be marking our tail, son. Looks like you're confident, at least. Don't get separated from me.
So yeah, that there is an example of the very famous yes-no dialogue options that we have in this game. Occasionally you will get a prompt preceded by those 3 beeps there, and the dialogue box will come up surrounded by square brackets instead of the angle brackets that are currently showing. And yeah, you have a chance to either respond affirmatively or negatively with a yes or no answer, and it's implied that Blaze is talking. And Yeah, by and large, these responses are normally... Ooh, nearly ran into all my wingmates there. But yeah, normally, like, these responses are just sort of canned. They don't really have any effect on anything, though you do get occasionally, like, a really dumb, obvious one that you can respond with a negative to and get some really hilarious results.
You got a knack for comic dialogue. You mind sending a surrender request for me? Oh no, please!
But yeah, geez, looks like this mission's gonna be over really quickly.
I'm real shy around strangers, you know. Jeez.
So yeah, with this type of mission, it's readily obvious right out of the gate that Ace Combat 5 is more focused on story than it is on, I suppose, just direct mission-to-mission type situations as the other games were.
Warning, we have 4 high-speed bogies inbound. Approaching unknown aircraft bearing 280, altitude 6,000.
First thing went up, yeah, I just buzzed the spy plane there, the SR-71, but this is only something you can really notice if you get really close to it, or if you're playing on an emulator with really, really high texture quality and anti-aliasing. But yeah, without spoiling anything, you can clearly see on the side of the SR-71 the words Yuktobanian Air Force, so gee, I wonder who we might be facing off against right here. Also...
Heads up!
Whoops.
War Dog Squadron, weapons safe. Hold your fire until further...
Another interesting thing worth pointing out here is, it's very interesting that we're flying the number 4 wing in our squadron in a game that is called Ace Combat Squadron Leader in Europe and the PAL territories. You can notice there on the left side of the screen there that the squadron order mechanic, the attack, cover, special weapons, disperse, is back from Ace Combat 0, but because we're not in charge of the squadron right now, if we try to use it, which you already sort of saw, or will be seeing in very short order, we're gonna get a little bit of a, I suppose, dressing down from our squadron leader, Captain Bartlett.
Whoa, those guys are really mad now!
Also, Heartbreak 1, where have I seen that before? No, well, it's probably nothing.
My only regret is not being able to fly with a captain with a sunnier disposition.
War Dog, I ordered weapons safe for all aircraft. Follow orders and hold your fire.
Also, yeah, another interesting experiment that Ace Combat 5 does. Your AWACS is an asshole. You're gonna have to get used to that. Yeah. Sadly, Sky Eye, this guy ain't.
Don't get too cocky or you're a dead man. Stick with me, I'll take care of you.
Also, yeah, of course, because... Yeah, here we go.
Take care of that one yourself. Come on, give it your best shot.
But yeah, of course, because this is standard first mission, Ace Combat, of course, we're flying the crappiest plane you have access to, and the enemy, of course, is also flying the crappiest plane they have access to, the good old flying trash can, the MiG-21 Bis fishbed.
War Dog 3, you're staggering around like a drunk. Damn it!
Also, yeah, another recurring aspect of Ace Combat 5, dunking on chopper.
Looks like we can hold our own out here. You guys are
Bang.
than I thought.
All unknown bogey aircraft destroyed.
This is your captain. Can you hear my voice? Hey, that means... You all alive? Alright. Nice work, Nuggets. War Dog 4, you still following us? Well, to commemorate the fact that we all made it out of that battle alive, I'm gonna let you keep your nickname. From now on, I'm gonna call you Kid, no matter what. Got it?
God damn it. Thanks, Jack.
I swear.
Emergency transmission from Central.
And there we go. That's it. We're officially underway. Not bad for our first outing. So, here we go. Welcome, everyone, to Let's Play Ace Combat 5.
The whole affair with the unidentified aircraft was covered up. There was even a rumor going around that it was actually a UFO. Officially, the world was still at peace. Having witnessed the battle myself, I wasn't allowed to leave the island.
Why do they even bother reprimanding me anymore? I know I'm gonna be stuck at Captain forever.
Who do you think's covering up the battle?
Listen, the only thing across that ocean is Murska Air Base. That's Yuktobanian territory.
But haven't we been allies with the Ukes since the war 15 years ago?
Yeah. That's why we got people working their asses off trying to confirm what the hell's going on over there. I bet they've got hotlines ringing off the hook somewhere upstairs. The government doesn't want to get the public riled up with all this, you know? But it doesn't matter. Soldiers like us are too stupid to think for ourselves, so we just gotta keep our mouths shut when they tell us to. I feel kind of bad for you, actually.
It's alright. I get to be with you guys.
Captain's probably hating this more than anybody.
Hmm?
He used to have a lady friend over in Yuktobania.
That's just an old war wound now.